What's up, guys? It is Brett Baker with Jason Simard and Todd Tramonte, and we're on the Triple Threat podcast this morning. Dude, today we're talking about my favorite thing, which is social media. So this is going to be a fun topic because I know all three of us do social media. We all do it differently. So let's just jump right into here. Good morning.
What's social media, by the way? I've never heard of it.
You've never heard
social?
of it? Yeah, social media. I think today we should talk about what to do with social media and what not to do with social media. What do you guys think?
I'm pretty good at what not to do. We can do that.
Yes, you are.
You know what? I think Todd should just sit back, take some notes today. Let me and Brett take over. This is our thing, man. Like social media.
This is how Jason and I basically built our business.
You know what? I've heard each of these guys tell me that they're the most modest person they know too. So we could do a second segment on humility.
Yes,
good for everybody.
Jason will apologize profusely.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry about that. No, let's jump into it. I've got a few comments on the old social media.
Go for it. Let's see what you got, man.
No, I mean, I'm not crazy enough to say that we go at it with the pedal to the metal like these guys do. I will say I'm going to end almost every real estate conversation with something along the lines of, build more and deeper relationships. And social media is good for that, right? So I think you're going to hear from these guys, and we're joking, but we're also sort of serious. They're doing social media in a much more technologically advanced way than I am, in a much more complex way in some senses. And then obviously I'm learning from these guys and replicating a lot of what they're doing. So we're doing some of the same stuff, but I'm a year behind or so on some of what they're doing in that regard. But where we've used it for a long time at a very high level is just to stay in touch with people that are about one ring outside of the people that I'm naturally going to be in touch with, bumping into them at the grocery store, seeing them at church, seeing them at the ballpark or whatever. There's certain people that you're going to maintain a relationship with different ways. And there's a certain percentage of your crowd that can best, or at least one of the better ways, be done on Facebook or on Twitter or on Instagram or whatever. I know my lane. Facebook's my lane. I'm not much of a Twitter user. Instagram in our house is more of a family photos, much smaller group of people that we interact with. But Facebook, I've just kind of grown to say, look, it's primarily business. I talk some sports smack on there. I've got some friends that's the best way we communicate with, but it's at least half business stuff. I'm not faking who I am. I still have a personality on there, but it's been a very effective media for us to stay in touch with people, whether it's through private messages or groups or, some goofball posting stuff. It's worked for invites to events and things like that. So yes, I'm using it for some video and things like that, but I will leave that part for sure to Jason and Brett. I may throw in a comment or two, but before we get rolling on that stuff, which is probably the most interesting, exciting stuff, don't overlook it as another form of actual real world relationship building and a touch point for client communication, past client and potential clients. So I'll leave it there. Maybe we'll circle back to some of that, but it's worth noting that while these guys are known for their skill set in the creative aspects of this, it's becoming in a lot of ways what email used to be. And for some people, it's what a text message could be, but it allows you to do some unique things. So if you're not obsessively techno-focused, don't sleep on social media. You've got to be in this game one way or another. So I'll sit back and let you guys preach now.
Well, good points. Todd, obviously we respect and value your opinion. I was joking earlier about the social media thing because, at the end of the day, we've all talked about different marketing strategies that we have, and some of us are at different levels. Todd's way further advanced in so many other areas than I would be. But I do feel that at this point that I think we've earned pretty good status with social media and we can probably provide some value. So here's the thing. Let's just throw this topic out there. I had somebody get upset with me recently because I had on my personal page shared a political view that I had on something, which is not something that I normally do, but it was just something that I did. And keep in mind, I'm Canadian. So my political views and my look on the world is a little different than being an American. So keep that in mind.
What he means is it's superior. That's what he's trying to say.
They are literally above us in every way.
Well,
superior. I'm just saying we look at things from a different lens because we're not in America. So keep that in mind. So I think I had posted something about how I maybe disagreed with Trump on some of his values. Which got me flamed by this guy. He said, I can't believe somebody like you that's an influencer would post that. And I was just like, look, that's just how I personally felt. And it was on my personal page, and it's not something that I post a lot of. So what do you guys think? Should you or should you not post your personal views on your social media page?
So I am so jumping in on this one. This is right up my alley. The thing you will find out is I do not I put all of my business stuff on my business page. If you are friends with me on my personal page, you get me, and you get me raw. So you never know what I'm going to come up with. But the truth is, I don't let my clients see that side. Yes, there are a couple of clients that get to see my personal side. But for the most part, it's strictly business. You're a friend on my business page, and that's it. Business stays business, personal stays personal. Every now and then I let the two merge. I know Todd is different than that. Todd, you friend pretty much every past client, right?
Yeah, less and less since I'm a little bit more removed from the client, but a lot of them track me down. And as much as I'm not an advocate for this like old school personality based business where it's hyper obsessively attached to you as the kind of key leader in our business, my personality is a key piece. Not at every level, but my faith plays a big role. My family plays a big role. And then sort of the writing and speaking and radio show kind of authority piece plays a big role. So yeah, I blur those lines really well. There's certainly things I wouldn't post on social media, but to your point, Jason, on politics, I don't do a ton of politics, but obviously I'm really open about my faith. And so that's another one of those categories that people would say, keep politics and religion out of this. And I would just say, look, if you're going to be either really opposed to or really offended by what I believe, you're not going to enjoy doing business with us anyway. And that's okay. I'm not mad at you. I'm not deliberately trying to run you off, but I'm not upset if our commentary or messaging pushes you in a different direction. That's okay. Let's work with people that we enjoy working with, that we trust, we like. We don't have to share every thought and belief. Trust me, we do a talk radio show on an AM station, and some of the craziest people on earth are tuning into that stuff, so there's still extremes that we wouldn't play in. First of all, I think it's good to be genuine, and it's not that Brett is hiding anything or not being genuine. He's just keeping some personal things personal. But I think people will feel that, if you're overly artificial, that's going to hurt you. If you let people have access to parts that are inappropriate, people are going to feel that. So staying in a lane that's genuine for you, that comes off that way as engaging is healthy. And that's going to be different for everybody. Second thought is I'm really happy. I thought Jason was going to talk about his public sharing of his play-by-play on his vasectomy.
I thought that was where it was going too.
But instead he went with this just a minor Trump reference, which is a much, much safer public forum at all times.
I thought for sure I thought we were going the vasectomy route too. He's concerned about the Trump post that he made, but the full play-by-play, I am laying on the table, I am now laying with an ice bag. That was a stretch.
I posted an after picture of my face, but you know what?
At least it was your face.
You know what? Here's the thing. That social media post was honest. It was genuine, and it was something that a lot of us can relate to, and it got an insane amount of engagement. Why? Because it's something that men have to face at some point in their lives, right? So it's a decision that you need to make. And so for me, I always have been authentic. I've always been myself. I've never tried to play the fake role like, call me today. I don't believe in that. You need to be yourself. You're not going to attract everybody. Not everybody's going to want to work with you. And you need to be comfortable in your own skin. The more comfortable you are being yourself, the more genuine and authentic you are, the more people connect with you, and the more affinity you build with people that are tuning into your stuff. And what I've learned from social media that's really powerful, it's not the people that are liking and sharing everything. It's the people that are seeing your stuff, aren't saying anything, but are consistently seeing it. And I've been blown away. I had a couple things that have happened to me recently that make me realize that this has been working. I was at the airport and I go through the security screening. The guy's like, "Hey, I know you. You're the Facebook guy." I'm like, "Oh, hey, nice to meet you." I'm at a freaking wedding the other night and I am driving one of the bridesmaids and her husband home, and he's like, "Hey, what do you do?" Because he saw a real estate sign on my car, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm a realtor." Told him my name. He's like, "Oh my God, I know you. Like, I watch all your videos. I probably watch 3 a week." He was like, "Oh my God, can I go to dinner with you?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm kind of embarrassed," but I'm like, my wife's in the car with me. I'm like, "Okay, let's just get these guys whatever they want from their drive." Great. But, it works. The thing is, you don't know who's watching, but there's people that are watching, I can tell you, and it's consistency. My first 12 months in the business, it was one of my pillars to do social media and put stuff out there. And truthfully, if I'd given up after that first year because the ROI wasn't quite as high, it was probably my lowest return on investment in my first year, I would have left so much money on the table in year 2 and 3. It's something that's a long-term play. And I think of it the same way as if you're going to farm an area and you're going to be hitting them with mailers and you're going to do that strategy. Social media is very much the same in my eyes. I just think it allows people to connect with you on a personal level much more if you're strategic in the content and the approach. So I'll leave it at that.
I want to touch on this because you mentioned people see you. So we do community videos. Our big thing, I learned a long time ago that people usually do not like real estate pages. Like they don't want to follow them. They don't want to like them because everybody's preaching the same boring crap. So we took a different approach to it. We actually made a page that is completely community branded. There is almost no mention at all about real estate on there, which is phenomenal. And so we call it Spotlight on Tri-Cities. We go around and we have a professional video crew that follows us. And we go into community restaurants. We go into community, different aspects of our community businesses and what have you. And we give them a totally free, I guess you'd call it advertisement for their business. What is so powerful about that is now that we have 3,000 plus followers on that page, we now are taking that and we're retargeting. So they start seeing me, they see my teammates, they see every one of us that's doing these videos, these community videos. They start recognizing who we are and they recognize what our business is. And so when we retarget them, all of a sudden they're like, "Oh yeah, I know that guy. He's on Spotlight on Tri-Cities. Oh, he's a real estate agent. Oh, that's cool." So we're starting to see more and more business flow through. If I had given up in the first year after the first 20 episodes, there's no way we would have as much business as we do now. On your point of people recognizing you, dude, I cannot tell you. I was in Costco the other day, and this guy comes up and he goes, "Hey, what restaurant are you doing next?" I have no idea who this guy is. I'm like, "Restaurant?" He goes, "Oh, you're the Spotlight on Tri-Cities guy, right?" Like, oh, crap. This got bigger than I thought it would. And this morning, before we hit record on this thing, I was telling you guys, we have one that's going absolutely viral right now, which is phenomenal because anybody who watches more than 30 seconds of that video is going to start seeing our retargeting ads hit them. So that's how we do social media.
And what Brett's not telling you is that his Costco script is to say, no, that's not me. That's my brother, Brett. He's freaking brilliant. You should hire him. He's amazing.
No, I don't do that. Yeah.
Let me add a wrinkle here real quick and just say there's definitely different strategies, and you shouldn't necessarily just go rip off what Brett's doing or what Jason's doing. I get recognized and people say they heard me on the radio or they've seen our videos, but I'm in Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, which is a massive market. Now, both Brett and Jason are near massive markets, but they're marketing in a smaller pond relative to mine. That doesn't make it easier. It just makes it different. Now, I will say in my weakest moments, I can convince myself that this would be way easier in a smaller market. Some things would, other things wouldn't. People envy us because we have more potential lead flow than anybody because we have millions and millions and millions of people. So there's pros and cons to everything. But, if you're in urban Chicago right now, the Spotlight series is going to be much more difficult for you because people don't associate with the geographic area that they could actually reach all those restaurants or whatever. They associate with hundreds of miles or whatever. Now, I'm sure there's a way you could do it. But my point is, there's a social media strategy for everybody, and it's different. But I think the main point we're all agreeing on is you've got to utilize social media. And I don't care if your age range or your technology affinity or whatever tells you like, man, that's just not something that's for me. You're wrong. This is something that's for you. And you're seeing varying layers of this. You know, we are starting to model. I probably borrowed more from Jason on the property specific preview videos than I did from Brett. But then we're doing these restaurant review videos that are our version of the spotlight. We did one last week. Basically what we do is we have food fights in the office, but our version of that is everybody gets together, we click on the camera and we argue over the best taco place or the best pizza place or the best date night place or the best place to cheat on your diet. And then we just have it out and we end up with usually a winner. We tag that winner, we connect with that business and we let them know, and then they help us promote the heck out of that video usually. And we are going to, our next step is to start going out and doing some on-site stuff and doing a 2.0 version where now, because they're the winner, we all went and ate there and we ate stuff and we talked about what we liked and we encourage people to go. So that's sort of our version of what Brett's doing. But you're missing a very, very, very low cost, very, very easy to produce, massively utilized media, regardless of where you are.
So there's something I call stream hacking. And a lot of people in the real estate industry go, what the hell's that? Stream hacking is where you use another person's social media stream to influence your own, if that makes sense. So when we do our videos, so Todd, when you do a video where you go out and you talk about those restaurants, you need to make sure that those people are sharing it, because now you're using their loyal followers to help you spread the word about your business. And my advice to you on that is, mention that you're in real estate and this is what you do.
Yeah.
But keep it on the business, because the business then wants to share that for you. It's been huge for us. Huge.
Yeah. In the world of marketing, it's renting someone's list, right?
Yeah.
So you're saying, okay, this restaurant has done a decent job. They've got 4,000 people on an email list. They have 980 likes on a Facebook page or whatever. Right. I'm not going to say I like their restaurant because they have a big Facebook list, but if I like them and they've got that, then the opportunity is to say to the owner, hey, we want to come shoot a follow-up video. If we do, is that something that would be valuable to you to send out to your Facebook group and your list? And it'll benefit both of us. All I'm going to say is, hey, sponsored by Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team, period. End of story.
That's the way to do it.
We'll put a lower third with our website or something, but there's no pitch for real estate. All I'm going to talk about is when my wife and I want a burger, we come to your place. And then you talk about marketing messages. You've got the list rental or the stream, whatever you call it, stream hacking. And then you've got social proof. Mm-hmm. And then you have mutual benefit, which are all really, really great marketing principles. Now, when you say stream hacking, I think of what people call newsjacking, right? So there's a huge media story that everyone's talking about. Well, you want to kind of grab that story and make it yours with a real estate headline or a personal perspective on it or a local application. Same thing. Everyone's Googling listeria breakout or whatever, and you talk about how it affects home prices. What? But there's already 47,000 Google searches happening. So that's just another principle, that Brett brings out of the world. This is where Brett and I really bond. No, Jason, not yet. You keep your hand up. You take something out of the industry and you apply it to the industry because nobody else is doing that.
Right.
And you see a ton of value. And I'm a big fan of that. And we get to talk shop on that all the time. Okay, Jason in Canada. Yes, sir.
Thank you. It's nice to be the polite one on the podcast who actually put my hand up. So here's the thing. Let's move the topic along. Let's keep this faster pace. Okay. So listings. Why make a big deal of a listing on social media? I think he set a new standard. We believed in our marketplace on how to brand a listing with your branding on it. So you're actually part of the video, you're engaging in it, but also where you could really showcase a property in a luxury way for an everyday home. And so what I found was consistent with that is your clients are going to share your video which all their friends on social media are going to see that you're their realtor because you're part of the video. They're going to see how well you showcase the home. You can boost that video locally in your marketplace. And then what you do is come back once you've sold that property and post the results on it, because people go back and check on it, and consistently do that. And we've picked up a lot of business this year from doing this strategy. So every single time we get a listing, we do what we call a narrated lifestyle video, where we go in, we have our intro, we showcase the property, and we always have our outro, and we're very consistent with it. But we really showcase the home in the right light, and then we'll boost that video every single time. And we generally boost in the same area, so people are seeing it consistently. And we've done probably 150 of those in the last year and a half, maybe more. But man, has it paid huge dividends, because you've now got mind share. And I think that's one thing we're all trying to gain in real estate, is how can we be that top of mind realtor? And I don't blast this, I don't brag about it in my marketplace, like you don't see it on my signature tags, but I've become the top realtor in my marketplace in my 3rd year in the business. And I truly believe it's because I've been so consistent with this messaging and this branding, and I haven't been afraid to put myself out there. But the thing is it takes a long time. Like when I say a long time, it takes a lot of videos. It's not like you do 1 or 2 videos and all of a sudden everybody knows who you are. It has to be very consistent. But I can assure you that the listings that I go on now, people are much more trusting because they've seen my stuff over and over. And so I'm further along in the process of being able to gain their trust to get the listing, because they've seen what I do. They see the results, they see the marketing, they see how much we put into it. And I think that's something for people to think about, is how can you differentiate yourself as a listing agent? Sure, you can go and do a drone video, you can do a listing video where you have music playing in the background, but how can you elevate that? Go ahead.
Quick 10-second break to tell you about our sponsor, Real Geeks. Todd, Brett, and Jason all use Real Geeks as their website, home search, and prospecting database. Check it out at realgeeks.com. Now, back to the show.
So I do the same. I don't do the same style that you guys do. We definitely do listing videos about all our listings, and we do kind of a green screen intro. I know most of the time you're at the house. Ours are green screen intro, but since we started doing that as well, now here's where we take and we tie everything together. To start with, we double side about 75% of our transactions. So our listings, we double side about 75%. Main reason is we use our stream of either Spotlight on Tri-Cities, our personal brand. We use all of that, and we retarget those listing videos to those audiences. So now we have this huge audience of people that we retarget to. Once we started doing that, same thing that happened to you. As soon as we started video after video after video and people started recognizing who I was, I'd show up on a listing presentation. They wouldn't ask what I charged. They wouldn't ask where I wanted to price the home. They trusted everything that I did. They just wanted to get on our list. Now we have a waiting list. I mean, we're out until December, first part of January at this part. So we have a waiting list of sellers until the first of the year that are waiting to be in line with us. And it's all because of these videos that we've done. It's all because of the way we display our listings on our social media. Same thing as you.
Interesting. So explain how the wait listing happens? Because that's
okay.
I've never met an agent that's like, hey, I'm so busy, I have a wait list of 3 months long.
So I'm gonna treat you like a seller right now, okay? And so and here's basically what we tell our sellers that are thinking about selling.
Hold on. Before we do that, let's set this up a little bit better.
Yeah.
So what's the context? How are they're reaching out to you? So I'm calling you and I'm saying, or I've messaged you on Facebook.
Yeah, and it's one of those like, hey, we do the home valuation things. And a lot of people at this point, when we get on our website, we get a come list me call. They fill out a quick little form that says basically we want to list our home. We'll reach out to you at that point. And so the way we reach out to those people is pretty simple. It says on there, yeah, I'm really thinking about selling. So-and-so referred me. Awesome. So I'll get on the phone with them and try to figure out some information about them. I want to know more about their house, et cetera, et cetera. And I say, one of the things that sets us apart is we are highly specialized. We only choose to work with a certain number of sellers per month because we like to dedicate 100% of our efforts to selling your home. We feel that if we take on too many clients at one time, we're not going to be able to give you that 100% that we need to give you to make our services and our value worth it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And they always go, yeah, that makes, wait, you what? So most agents will take on as many clients as they can get because they really need the business. We are highly specialized people, and we really like to work with a specific number of sellers. And go. You were going to
Go
say
ahead. I was just going to say, I'll give you my version of that because Brett and I have been talking about this for a while. This is one of the things I've walked people through in our coaching and consulting room.
He wasn't done yet.
So
go ahead. Sorry.
I take that, and then they say, okay, well, what does that mean? Well, right now we are filled up for October, but we've got a couple of spots left in December if that's something that you're interested in waiting until December. And they kind of look at me kind of funny usually, or you hear a pause and they go, well, what do you mean you're booked through October? December is when we have an opening. Would you like to get into that spot for December? We could get our media team out there. We can have a marketing plan ready to go for you. We do our standard marketing on every single house. They say absolutely yes. So now we have people for December that are already lined up. Now, we don't tell exactly how many clients we handle at one time. It really depends on the clients. But there's a lot of ways that you can avoid the what do you charge? Because most of them, by the time that you say, well, I'm booked out until December, they go, what do you mean you're booked out until December? Well, there's so many people that want to work with us that we have a waiting list right now. People want what they can't have. And so if you say, I am booked up until December, people go, this guy is really, really good at what he does, and he has a waiting list. And people will wait. So like I said, we're booked out now until the first of the year. And we had one guy come up to us about a week ago. Did I say this on the call the other day, Todd? We had a guy.
I think so. Go ahead.
Called us last week basically and was like, hey, I can't wait until the new year. We want you. We only want you guys. We know what you do. What will you charge us to move it up?
Yep.
Beg your pardon? Sure, we'll take you on. Here's the percentage we're going to charge for that. Yep. And so that's how we get 8 and 9%.
Yeah. Sorry for interrupting you.
You're good. I'm used to it. It's a Texan thing.
No, it's like my worst horrible weakness. I do it constantly, and I know that.
Todd's a teacher. Todd likes to teach, which we love. He's very smart. So.
Well, what I wanted to add is because this is one of the things Brett and I have spent the most time on is for years now, we've said it similarly, but a little bit different. And what's different is that we say, look, we always prioritize our past clients, our repeat and referral clients. And we don't apologize for that. Those are the people that we've already committed to. We've already begun or initiated relationships with. So depending on how many of those we have each month, that will determine our availability. And based on our team size and our transactional flow at the time, we usually have an opportunity to take somewhere between 6 and 10 new clients a month that are not from repeat and referral, and different months are different. So in the event that things are starting to tighten up for this month or next month, we're just going to ask you to fill out a really short, simple application. And then based on that, we'll select the people that we know we can help the most. If for any reason we're not able to help you right now, of course, you're welcome to. We'd love to have you wait until next month or when we have our next availability. And if for any reason we can't, we don't want to delay your success or your goals. We would be happy to connect you with another agent that we feel would be able to do, certainly an adequate job, if not better than that. But we're not going to take on your business if we don't feel that we can give you the time and the energy and the resources that we need to really deliver world-class value. And that starts with our past clients and our existing relationships. So hopefully that makes sense for you. Here's our next availability. And then it's very similar to what Brett just did. And it's true. People want what they don't have, but I think it's even more powerful that people want folks that genuinely can communicate their success, not that can do it like a schmuck, like, look at, I got a platinum award and this trophy. Like Jason said, he's not even telling people that he's the number one agent in his market. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. But if that's not consistent with kind of how you operate your business, saying, look at my trophy, look at how awesome I am, instead of saying, we have a track record for results and this systematic follow through obviously establishes that, then someone starts saying, no, we'll wait. We can wait 30 days. That'd be fine. Or they say what Brett's client just said, which is, look, what's it going to cost for me to work with you now? I don't want to work with anybody else, but I also can't wait. Yeah. And listen, on the one hand, it's really fun. It gives you this feeling of power and influence, but that's not the reason you do it. You do it because it's true that you can really only deliver phenomenal value to so many people at once. And you can go out there and say, oh, we're going to do 72 listings this month. But in the back of your mind, you're like, look, 12 of them are going to cancel. 14 of them are going to expire. 9 of them we're going to forget to call back, and that's not true for everybody. But if that's true for you, then just don't take the business and do what you do really well. So that's where that comes from. But let's get back to social media. I can feel Jason wanting to keep us on topic.
Okay. So we've talked about the importance of listings on social media. Make a big deal of them. Really showcase your value to your client. I mean, look, if you've gone and done everything, you've marketed the home, they're looking at the view count in the thousands on their video, they're seeing engagement, you're doing a service to your seller. Because here's the truth in real estate, 80% of real estate is the price, right? So we all can agree that 80% of real estate is the price, 20% is everything else. So what I always talk about with a client is, what can we control? Well, we can control how well we expose your home to the market. We can control the condition of the home in the market. We can make sure that our follow-up's on point. We can make sure that we have all the information up front, that we're well prepared, that we have a plan. But at the end of the day, price is going to be the most influential factor in the sale of real estate. However, in the mind of a client on why they would choose you over somebody else, they are looking at your marketing. They're looking at how you showcase a home and your standards. And it does make a difference. There's no doubt about it. But again, 20% of it is probably influenced by all those factors versus the price, in my opinion. So how can you stand out? Really make sure that you make a big deal of every single listing that you get. Treat it like a luxury listing, even if it's not. I mean, I have homes that are $200,000 homes that I do luxury marketing and, really showcase it. And that goes a long way, because people are like, wow, you're treating my asset like it's a luxury home. And sure, it costs me a little bit more, but at the end of the day, that's the standard that I want to set. And I really want to showcase.
It's the best way to do it. So that's the way we do it. Jason, real quick, I'm taking notes over here. How do you guys post the results on your property videos? You just post it in a comment or what?
No, I just go back and I'll just add
the video
for the price and number of days.
Yeah.
And I just put it back. And I'm transparent about it. Look, sold in 69 days, sold in 8 days, sold in 15 days. Just post the results.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that's the facts, right? Put the information.
Yeah, we're completely missing that piece. That's why we do these things. We do it to share, but we do it to learn from each other too. I've got 6 really good notes today that 4 of them I already knew, but I needed to be reminded. 2 of them are.
I learned something from Brett, actually. He said, look, when you get a listing, boost it within like a mile radius of where that listing is, because then all the neighbors are seeing it. So it's kind of a way of digital farming, right?
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
You could follow that up with hitting them with a mailer, a just listed card or just sold in that area. And then you're hitting with a Facebook campaign. And then, I still need to learn the retargeting, but you could do the retargeting.
Absolutely.
So for you, Todd, in your market, because it's a huge marketplace,
Yep.
but you could really dive into a smaller area. Say you pick like an area that has 5,000 people that you really want to nurture or whatever you want to farm. You could do that digitally with Facebook. And that's
and that's what we do. The problem and the discipline you've got to constantly have is not to try to do that in 47 different small areas, right? So we have 2 to 3 that we're constantly hitting, and then we're testing the water on listings that are outside of that. We'll do a 2, 3, 4, 5 mile radius. We'll boost it, and we'll see what the views and responses are. And if so, then we'll dig in. And to your point you just made, we call it the Force Multiplier. It's a military reference to hitting them by land, air, sea. So we want to do phone, we want to do Facebook, we want to do mailbox. And then at times we're also going to do like a live event, which would be a neighbors only open house, or something I learned from Joe Stump over at Buy Referral Only. We call it gardening. It's not farming. It's not a huge thing. It's a much narrower focus to smaller patch of ground. But then we do all sorts of other, touches too. We've got the citywide radio show, and then you've got pay-per-click and other ways that you're hitting them. But that exact, let's say it's a half mile radius, you can knock doors, do flyers, do open house, do calls, do Facebook, and you're hitting a pretty good chunk of those people 3, 4, 5 different ways. What were you going to say, Brett?
So here's our spin on how we do this whole thing. And people ask us, how do we get a line of sellers out our door? Here's how we do it. Very, very simple. We hit them by multiple means, right? Like, so I taught Jason the whole boost that around the 1 mile radius. Okay. So as soon as we boost it, we do that for a coming soon. After we've done the coming soon, they're getting to see that coming soon video. We door knock for our neighbors only open house, the nearest 100 doors. We send them a very nice, very, very high quality open house invite for a neighbors only open house. We have one of our Spotlight on Tri-Cities people cater it. So it's catered. Usually we have food and beverage. So like the last one we did was margaritas and Mexican food from one of our past Spotlight on Tri-Cities. We had about 116 to 100, I think it was 116 to 118 people there. Those are all people in the neighborhood that said, hey, a couple of them had listings in the neighborhood with other agents, and they came to our neighbors only open house, and they basically said, how do we get this? So now that we've hit them with a neighbors only open house that they got to come to before it was even on the market, they get a boosted ad to them showing the house. Now all of a sudden they're getting the retargeting as well. It literally, we hit 4 different ways. We send out a just listed postcard. We hit them with the neighbors only open house. We hit them with the boosted post. They see all of that, and then we hold off showings until the Saturday. We launch on a Wednesday. We hold off showings until Saturday. We do an open house on a Saturday, and then allow showings after our open house. As soon as we do that, that's how we double side 75% of our listings. So there you go. That's our strategy.
Beautiful.
I'm taking notes on that for sure. Those things we can be doing to take it to a whole nother level.
It's honestly, dude, with all the stuff you're doing right now, if you were to implement a neighbors only open house and you were to have it catered, because you already do so much, find that neighborhood that you really, really, really want to highly specialize in and start doing that. And there's obviously implementation that you've got to do. You can't just go shotgun everything. It all has to be strategic. Otherwise it won't work. So you and I should sit down and talk about that one of these days.
Yeah, we're going to have to for sure. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, this is pure gold. If anybody's listening to this, I mean, you're getting some nuggets here that are going to help you in your business. There's people thinking like, wow, that's just like so overwhelming. I don't know where to start. Key is, when I started with social media, I do a bi-weekly video. I just did a helpful tip video that I had a guy produce for me and just edit. And then I would send it out to my on Facebook, and I would boost it in my marketplace, and I would send it out to my database. And that's what I did to start. And then after year 1, I was like, okay, how do I take this to another level? Then I started doing things like our 12 days of Sims Miss, which is our huge social media giveaway that we do, where we do videos like that, where we showcase local businesses and have these really cool engagement prizes. We, give out thousands of dollars worth of prizes. There's that one. There's our Sims in a City, where we showcase different areas of our community. And again, we're putting that information out there because we want to be the community ambassador. So get creative, have fun with it. And it's not don't talk real estate all the time. Talk about your community, become the community
Absolutely.
ambassador. And I think what you want to be is like the concierge for people. If people are thinking about something, they're like, who's really resourceful? Oh, I'm going to call Brett, or I'm going to call Todd. I'm going to call Jason. That's what you want to do. Put yourself out there, and be genuine, be yourself. I can't stress that enough. You don't have to airbrush every photo and be perfect. People want genuine. If they feel like they can trust you and they feel like you're being yourself, they're much further along in the process of wanting to work with you than if they just feel like you're an infomercial. That would be one thing I would put up.
I would agree with that. Todd, I have one thing for you. And you'd mentioned, because you're in such a big area, it's hard for you to do the whole community thing. Mm-hmm. Here's something you can do. Food trucks are huge, right? And people love food. Food trucks they're the up and coming. What I would suggest you do is I'd suggest you find food trucks in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, or in the specific area that you want to work. Focus on food trucks. And my reasoning is they have such an insane following that if you literally go out and you do your food fight, and then you do a food fight about like the best taco truck, and then take it to that taco truck and try all 3. Like you have Ian wanting one, you've got Kristen wanting one, and you talking about another one. All 3 of you guys go to each one of those taco trucks and do like a comparative. I'm telling you, dude, there's something huge with that.
That's on the list. And just for everybody watching, Brett's punching me in the kidneys verbally right now, because we have a huge box truck that we've talked about converting into our own food truck. We're having our big fall festival next month, and we've got 2 taco trucks and the shaved ice truck coming. So we thought about opening our own food truck park and doing company events there. And then, it's a killer idea. And to do the food fight videos on the food trucks would be an obvious, perfectly good lead in. So I appreciate you having your eye on that. Two other just.
If anything, can I say one thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely.
If anything, what this will do is going to help your referral business.
Absolutely.
Right? Your friends, your family, your past clients, all those people that are on your business page, your personal page, they're going to be seeing your content and they're going to engage with it. And if anything, it just keeps you top of mind for those referrals and for that part of your business. So even if you're not trying to scale this on a crazy level like we are, that's fine. But like if you're trying to do 30, 40 ends a year, which is a great business in real estate, this stuff will help you too. Make yourself stand out, put good content that people can engage with. So that's just the point I wanted to make with this. It doesn't have to be this crazy, elaborate thing, but consistency.
Good tip. Two other quick, just simple things that we do. We do a monthly trivia contest, kind of like Jason was saying, has nothing to do with real estate. It's just kind of fun. It's usually a really easy question. People email in an answer. We let them Google it. Like everyone should get it right. And then we draw one of the people that's right, and we give them a gift card. And then another thing we've talked about in other videos, so I won't go into a lot of detail, but we have our Raving Fan Club and all the stuff that our past clients can use. They'll come borrow the pressure washer or a drill or tree trimming stuff or whatever, and we're getting pictures of them, and we're asking them to take a picture while they're using it or shoot a video, post and tag. Those are other just really simple social media things. If you're buying somebody a cup of coffee, we've talked about it too. We did our ice cream event where we bought everybody an ice cream cone. We took a bunch of pictures, post and tag, and it splinters out to their friends and their family. So that's not rocket science.
No,
but it's stuff you're probably already doing some of this, and you just need to make sure you're letting other people know and letting that splinter out, like Jason just said. It doesn't have to be on a grand scale. It doesn't have to be master planned on a marketing calendar. But this stuff can scale. But Jason said the most important word of this whole thing: consistency.
Absolutely.
Whatever you're going to do, keep on doing it. And do it when nobody's watching it. Do it when nobody's clicking. Do it when nobody's sharing it. Definitely get better. Learn from people like this. Share ideas. But keep doing it. And over time, you become an overnight sensation, right? It's like everything else. Oh my gosh, your business just took off. No, it didn't. I've been dragging it out of the earth for the last 3 years or 15 years or whatever, right? So really good stuff. It's not all the sexy, bright stuff, although we could all replicate some of that too. But some of this simple stuff done over time is really powerful.
I would say the thing that I would say about social media is, beside consistency, you need to create megaphones for your business. And there's ways to do that with social media. Todd taught me the megaphone metaphor, if you would. You all have past clients. Do something random for them. People that have sent you leads, people that have sent you referrals, you need to be doing something totally out of the blue and just do it because you can. Do it because they sent you business. One of my past clients, my best past client, I sent huge bouquets of that, what was that stuff called? It's like fruit on a stick. Edible arrangements. Yeah. Thank you. Huge edible arrangements. The other thing we did was we have an inner circle. Todd taught me that one too, of people that have sent us referral clients. When Garth Brooks came to town, we bought him tickets and said, hey, go to the show. We'll provide you the transportation. We'll provide you the tickets and food. Do me a favor and post tons of pictures of this. Yeah. We got so much referral business from that. Because, it cost us, probably $1,500. Not a ton of money, right? But we got a huge return on it. Like 10x ROI from that. So small things. Take care of your past clients and use social media to take care of them. A super fast, easy thing you can do right off the bat. When you have a closing, take a picture or a video with your past client and say, congratulations, so and tag them in it.
I'm so glad you said that. Let me ask both of you real quick. What are your pet peeves about that, though? What should people not do in that regard?
Where do I begin?
Let's just rapid fire a couple, because I know you all have them, because I have them too.
My thing is, don't make it about you.
Exactly. Make it about them.
Make it about them. It's their experience, right? So we're in a very agent-centric business, which is like, I'm the best. I'm number one. Look at me. Brag, 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 brag. And it's all me. I'm the best. I got the nicest car, nicest house. I have an airplane, blah, blah, blah.
Hey.
was a subtle dig, but the consumer doesn't care about that. It's all about the client. Make your business very client centric, all about them, it's their experience, and always serve. Don't expect anything back. Just genuinely care about that client. That would be my thing. Like, you don't have to brag about
the client is the hero of the story. That's the way you write the story. And don't make sure that everyone in your social network knows that you're performing real estate activities 20 hours a day, right? Showing another house, love being at this MLS meeting, getting better at what I do. Like, okay, breathe a little bit, right? Like, don't vomit on people, right? But show them some compelling information. To Jason's point, it's not compelling that you won a trophy. It's not compelling that you're making a ton of money from this stuff. It's compelling that you're involved in people's lives and their lives are benefiting. But it's their story. It's the client's life that's compelling. Now, make sure that you're always present, that you're attaching yourself, that it's very clear that it's you that was part of that. But don't post 27 times a day just so everyone knows you're in real estate. But anybody paying attention would understand that you're really never closing much. You're just letting them know every time you pick up a pen to do more real estate activity. That's obnoxious. People will tune you out and unfriend you fast. So
how you get unfriended on Facebook. That's why you keep the two separate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think that's a great show, boys. Again, I want to thank companies like Real Geeks that, have helped us in our businesses. I think that's
none of us would be here without that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a huge tool. And if you ever want to learn more about that, talk to the people at Real Geeks. They're amazing. And just at the end of the day, whatever you do, just be consistent with it and know that it's a grind. It's not all rainbows and butterflies. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it, but it can pay off. And whether you're looking to build a small business or a big business, it's out there, and there's people like us that are willing to help, and we're always trying to learn from other people as well. So we'd love to hear your ideas.
Yep. Solid.
I call that a show.
Over and out, folks. We'll see you on the next one.
Take it easy.
Stop recording.